Nothing fancy again with the lighting with this video. I've been sick for like a week, but I was doing some research on how to package the type of content that I'm doing on my remote business journey as somebody with an invisible disability. And I've tested different ways of creating content to see what people are interested in, what's searchable, etc. Learned a lot, which is awesome. Met a lot of cool people, also awesome. And it just suddenly occurred to me that a lot of what I'm doing might fit better in like slow living, soft living type content, at least on social media, than like remote business, because I basically have the Chronicle blog. It's chronicle.press, Chronicle spelled without the H. Started as a tech business blog when Ann Arbor, Detroit turned into emerging smaller startup hubs, basically, right before the pandemic. And I had like a personal in on the industries and was already a media person. So I knew it wasn't like a winning strategy long term. It wasn't a complete business model, but we started out as media, turned into content marketing agency. And then when AI came out was the same time I was figuring out that I had some limitations because of the health stuff that I'd uncovered during the pandemic. Because remote living changed my lifestyle in a way that made it very apparent why I kept getting really, really sick. So all good, finally figured it out, but I've been piecing it back together ever since, like turned the tech and business blog into remote business because I'm doing combination hybrid business of like media or publishing and Airbnb. So just trying to fit everything together in a way that'll work long term and learning how to slow down. Anyway, I was really excited to think about that slow living piece of the puzzle because it both informs the branding for Chronicle and how it's a blog. So that's the other thing. It's like reaching people via a blog and newsletter versus social media. It's completely changed, and I need to update what we're doing. It's long overdue anyway. And I think keeping it as remote business and the health journey, remote digital nomad kind of a journey, narrative style journalism on the blog is fine. But I might add some video content and stuff, but mostly I just need to link it more into the social media side of what we're doing, which was coming off as more of like a relaxing ASMR plus follow me on my business journey tips type account. And that works because people actually know to look for that on like YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. It's early days, but my channel's starting to grow and I finally got visible with the algorithm, learning how to do things in the right format and whatever. You can see that in some of my other IG videos or YouTube videos that are updates on business stuff and marketing in particular, if you're interested. So yeah, it's, sorry, a bit of a ramble, but I am really excited because even though I was sick for a week, just something chronic that flared up, I'm fine. But when I lose traction like that, having a connective tissue disorder and getting anaphylaxis all the time, it's not something that just affects you once, right? Like if it's chronic, then you're chronically missing out on work time. It's hard to get any traction. And this time I realized at the right time, like, oh, if this is just something I can't get done, maybe it's really something I can't do it this way in terms of like, you got to get this blog post written, you got to do this, you got to do that, just to get some momentum on the media side of the brand. But yeah, lately I've both been seeing traction in some business growth on the real estate side with a little bit more strategic planning of how to package vacations, and the neighborhood's kind of catching up on redevelopment and everything. So financially it's starting to make a little more sense, which was bridging that gap we were worried about for the first couple years. And then it's also really cool to be able to see that even though some aspects of what I tried with the media side of the business fell completely flat, like book sales so far this time around, I figured out why, and I figured out how to piece it together, and then I was able to either figure out if something needed to change format or platform permanently to fit with today's media landscape, or if it was just something that's going to come later because some things that I'm doing are a little out of order because of the illness. So I hope that made sense. I know it was a ramble, but I wanted to record this vlog just because if you're going through anything like this, I wanted you to kind of see, like, that's what progress looks like when you're flat on your back. Yeah, because it actually is, and it's really hard to find those benchmarks. Like I've mentioned before, I was very, very lucky to get very good business mentorship as a journalist because I got to talk to people all day who were building businesses and startups and more what I would call modern businesses, not old like corporate political style bureaucracy type businesses, though that has its place, and very much more the scrappy creative. So I loved it. But a lot of the advice they give you is optimized for sort of an average situation. And when you are chronically ill, you really have to find what works for you. And that's what I've been testing. So that's what I mean by progress. And I hope it helps somebody. So early days, but I have seen what looks like the beginning of some pretty good growth on some social media stuff that I just started, just because I found the right combo. So we're still doing product market fit, but we're like piecing it together because with a hybrid business, you need the income from, you know, the agency model or the advertising or getting paid for the media, or now the Airbnb rental income. Much more reliable. There's just a lot higher expenses on the business. So learning that and then learning how to put all the branding back together in a different way to salvage the pieces of what needed to be pivoted. Because I didn't want to just scrap it. I had a good time, and it would have been successful even now if I hadn't gotten sick. So I didn't want to throw away something valuable. But yeah, I know I'll lose audience members because I'm just doing something different, but I'm feeling much better about how it's fitting together and that it's making sense, and that if something doesn't fit, I'm not trying to just make it fit anymore, whether it's something I'm capable of doing ability-wise or it's just something that like doesn't fit with the new business. I'm learning how to identify like, okay, I need to let this go because I've been thinking about it for so long already, and if it were going to work, I would have figured it out by now. Because I can overthink something to death, but I can also be a little impulsive on like not finishing things, not tying up loose ends, because my brain is just moving too fast. And even sick and burned out, I'm still like that, creatively, business-wise. So yeah, starting to come together.